Hi, thank you for watching. In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a vegetarian edamame and kale quiche. I have some Tuscan kale here, and I'm going to take the leaves off of the stems. I'm just pinching and scraping it down. I find that's the easiest way to do it. Okay, once you get all the leaves off, and you don't want the stems, they're a little bit tough, so you don't want to eat them unless you chop them really fine, but I usually just get rid of them. So I'm stacking them to make it easier to chop, and I'm going to give them just a rough chop right here. That's my dog in the background, if you can hear it. Next, I'm going to chop the tarragon. Tarragon is my favorite herb, but you can also use chives, you can use parsley, thyme, or even a combination of any of those, or your favorite herb. So I'm just taking the leaves off the stems. I have all the leaves off, and I am going to give them a chop. I'm not going to chop it too fine. I'd like to get a big bite of tarragon in this dish. Okay, it's getting there. There you go. You want it about that size. Now we're going to move on to the egg mixture. We're basically making a custard. A custard is a combination of eggs and either milk or cream. I'm going to be using half and half today just to kind of still get the creaminess, but maybe cut back on the calories a little bit. And the ratio is 1 egg per half a cup of cream or milk or whatever that you're using. I like to add just a little bit of the cream and mix it in with the eggs. It just makes it easier to break up the egg yolks. Not easier, but you just know it's easier to see that the egg yolks are broken up and the egg is mixed in. So I'll give it a whisk, and then I'm going to add the rest of the half and half. Again, the ratio is 1 egg for half a cup of cream. So I use 4 eggs. That means I use 2 cups of cream. Once it's all mixed in, I am going to season it with salt. I always like to use sea salt. And fresh ground pepper. We'll mix that in. Make sure it's all combined. My dog really wants to be part of this video today. Sorry, guys. Once it's all mixed in, I am going to add the cheese. It's at room temperature, so it mixes in the egg mixture a lot easier. You can also use herbed goat cheese. If you don't like goat cheese or you don't have goat cheese on hand, you can use feta cheese. It's also really nice in this dish. I like the tanginess. I think it complements the dish really well. I'm just breaking up the bigger pieces. I'm going to switch to a fork. You don't have to get everything completely combined. It's actually kind of nice to have some chunks in the quiche. Just like that. Okay. Mix that in. This is a mixture of the edamame that I cooked until soft and kale that I blanched. If you want to learn how to blanch, I actually have a separate video on that, so please take a look. I've also seasoned this mixture with salt and pepper. So now all my ingredients are prepped and ready to go. For the crust part, I made the dough myself, but you can use the frozen dough that you buy at the grocery store. I dusted the bottom and the top with some flour so it doesn't stick. I'm also dusting the my cutting, or not my cutting board, my rolling pin, just to make sure it doesn't stick. And also notice, whoops, the camera moved. Also notice, as I fix the camera, that I am turning the dough each time I want to roll it out. This is to make sure that one, it rolls out evenly, and two, that it's not sticking to the bottom. My dough is rolled out, and I checked and make sure that it's going to fit in the pie plate that I'm going to use. So now I'm just rolling it on the rolling pin and then rolling it out into the pan. And I'm just going to, don't stretch it, just pull it gently to fit it over the pie pan. Okay, now I'm just kind of straightening the edges. I'm not too worried about making it look perfect. Let's just say this is rustic, but I just want to make sure that it's even so it cooks evenly. Okay, my dough is in there. It's fitting around the edges, and I'm adding the kale and edamame mixture. I'm adding it to the bottom, and I'm going to spread it out evenly, even though it'll still move around a little bit once you add the egg mixture. But I'm adding my tarragon. Again, just spread it evenly, just to make sure that each piece has the same flavor when it's cooked and you cut it for portions. Okay, so now I'm going to gently pour my egg mixture over the vegetables. And just with a fork, I am moving it around a little bit to make sure it looks even, like that. And in it goes into a 350-degree oven for about an hour. Okay, so usually when I make a quiche, I pre-bake or partial bake the crust. Well, this time I totally forgot, and I thought I had ruined it. But I still baked it because I took the time to do it. So, and it turns out it was actually okay. So, if you want a crisper crust, you can par bake it, or otherwise just do it the way I did it in this video. And here's their beautiful edamame and kale quiche. Enjoy!